Okay, the time is 10:38 a.m. It is still Tuesday, October 12th, and we are still in our regular term meeting, the B County Commissioners Court. We are on agenda item number 18. Are there any motions to be made after coming out of closed executive session? Hearing no motions, we will move on. Agenda item number 19, update, discussion, and possible action regarding B County COVID-19 status, preparedness, and contingency planning. Mr. Willow, you have an update for us, sir.
Good news update.
We like those.
Mike Willow, COVID-19 person. Present count, 38 active cases in B County, which is down considerable. The last time I checked, which was a couple days ago, we had 118 people from B County pass away with COVID since it started. The hospital is no longer giving out their daily reports because their influx of patients has diminished, and it's the peak is now we're in our valley, so it's a good thing. We are doing testing at the Coliseum Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 to 3. It is cheek swab. Wait times is 2 to 4 days. They called me last week, Wednesday. They were all excited and wondering because they had 98 tests that they conducted that day. So we'll find out in a couple of days if it continues to go up. But one of the things that we had when we first started the coalition, you really don't know what kind of count you have unless you test. So that's a good thing. If we come back with 98 negatives, that's a great thing. So a lot of people are doing it because it's required to go to concerts, to go on cruises, so they're getting tested. So it gets charged to the insurance if you have insurance. If not, it goes to the special fund set aside by the state. That's basically all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Willow, and I'm so glad that we're still able to try to find a way to testing availability for our citizens. That's one of those conveniences that you don't really value until you need to get a test, and you can't get an appointment at one of the box places, and so you have to drive out of town. Any further discussion on COVID? All right. Oh, wait. For agenda item number 20, do we need to take a brief recess? You can get her on the phone. I could use a recess. Could everybody else use a free 5-minute recess? I'll take a 5-minute recess. The time is 10:41 a.m. Don't tell me you have morning appointments.
Okay. Ms. Ransom? Are you there?
Yes,
Okay, great.
yes, I am.
The court is back in session, and they're going
Well,
to...
not yet, but-
Not yet, but he's going to give him just a moment. He'll read your item out, and then they'll get started.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you very
Okay.
well. Thank you.
Okay, the time is 10:47. It is still October 12th, 2021, and we are still in our B County Commissioners Court regular term meeting. I'm going to call agenda item number 20, request from Carol B. Ransom to classify private roads public neighborhood road under Texas Transportation Code Title 6, Subtitle C, Chapter 251.053, neighborhood roads for access to 193.62 landlocked real property acres located in B County, Precinct 1. We have Ms. Carol Ransom on conference call. Good morning, Miss or Mrs.? Ms. Ransom, good morning. Thank you for being with us this morning. We have the Commissioners Court has in our packet your communications dated March 30th, 2021 to Commissioner Chris Linney, setting out your request. I will tell you, and I'm happy we're happy to hear your presentation this morning. I do know that in communicating with our county attorney, there may be one or more statutory prerequisites contained or that may be missing in your request to make it a formal application pursuant to state law. And I believe there may also be notice provisions contained within the statute that I don't know if those provisions have been met either. And so if you'd like to address either of those two issues at first, please do so, and otherwise you may proceed.
Good morning, and thank you for allowing me to address Commissioners.
Good morning.
I am spokesperson for the 12 heirs of A. Simons and 93 plus. For many years have been unsuccessful in access to our property in B County. 13 months ago, in September of 2020, I decided to ask guidance, Precinct 1 Commissioner, about how to pursue access and lock.
Ms. Ransom, we're losing you every 30 seconds or so. Your reception is not super good. I don't know what the issue is, but just so you know, we're not hearing everything that you're saying clearly.
Okay. Closer to the phone. How much did you miss?
Why don't you just start from the beginning?
Okay.
Okay, I'm taking it off speakerphone.
Much better.
Okay, I am the spokesperson for the 12 heirs of T.A. Simons, 193 plus acres. For many years, we have been unsuccessfully attempting to gain access to our property in B County, Precinct 1.
Speak up, please.
13 months ago, in September of 2020, I decided to ask for guidance from the Precinct 1 Commissioner about how to pursue access to our now landlocked property under Texas Title 6. From September of last year until March of this year, all I received was suggestions that were dead-ended. In March of this year, out of frustration, my husband and I collated all the information we had into a formal request and submitted it to the B County Commissioners Court for classifying a private road to a neighborhood public road. My unsuccessful attempts to gain access are detailed in that submitted form. according to Texas Title VI provisions, I understand the Commissioner's Court has the responsibility and authority to remedy access to our landlocked lands. And Commissioners, we are looking to you to take action on our request, because I have received no feedback that the request was deficient in any way. So that is the first I've heard that.
Okay. Please continue.
What would you like to know?
Well, would you like to provide us with, I'm not exactly sure, Ms. Ransom, how you think this process is supposed to work. You're propositioning the court to take action, but you're asking the court to tell you what steps you need to take. You know, the county attorney is looking at this and has looked at your packet of information from the perspective of advising the Commissioner's Court on the propriety or impropriety of the presentation that's made, the package that was presented, and I've indicated to you that he indicated to me that there may be components of what you've presented that do not meet the requirements set out by state law. But I'm still giving you the opportunity to present to us and to tell us what it is that you're asking for us to do. I can also tell you that I know at some point in time I was contacted by Carlos Estrada in connection with I believe this tract. Actually, I know it was with this tract, asking me for guidance on what his client, so I presume, or you or some of your family members should do moving forward. And my clear statement to him at the time was, what you guys need to do is figure out exactly how to present and prepare who you need to let know about this proposed hearing that you want to have, and to get that all put together and tied up for us, so that you've done the lifting on requesting what is, in my experience, an incredibly unique request dealing with not only your personal private property, but the private property and the private property rights of other B County citizens. I don't know if the impacted tracts where this proposed road that you want to have us create or convert into a public road, I don't know if they were provided notice of this agenda item today. I don't know if, when I spoke with Mr. Estrada, my understanding is that what you needed to do was to request something in the form of a hearing where you would have an opportunity to present your position, and anybody who would be opposed to your position would have the opportunity to present their objections to your position. But that's all based on the representations that were made in that conversation from Mr. Estrada, based on his looking at the law, not from me. So, you know, the Commissioner's Court, we stand ready to consider your request and your proposal, but we also are looking to guidance to make sure that what you're doing, that you've dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's, and if you believe you have, then please proceed as you see fit.
Well, I was not under the impression that we, as private individuals, could call for a public hearing. I expected that to be an action of the Commissioner's Court. On page 5 of the submitted form that I submitted in March, we've outlined the actions that are necessary to make this happen. but it was not my understanding that as private citizens, we had the authority to do that.
Yeah, I think we have a chicken and the egg situation, Ms. Ransom. I'm looking at page 5 though. Are you, can you point, is it paragraph number 3 or?
No, paragraph number 1 says, conduct a public hearing for the purpose to grant property owners unrestricted access to their landlocked property.
Thank you. I'm just trying to catch up to where you're at, Mrs. Ransom. Please be patient with us.
Okay.
It's page 4 of her packet. It's page 112 of ours.
It's at the very bottom.
Okay, Ms. Ransom, well, if that's the case, then I think we could probably table this or take no action on this agenda item, and I can get you on a future agenda item, and, you know, I don't know how to say this more clearly, but, you know, you're asking the court to engage in an area of the law that the court does not routinely engage in. And so I'll utilize the request that you've submitted to move forward on that in the future. If there's any additional guidance, any additional specification that you think would be advantageous for your position, certainly with respect to making sure, and I would just, I'm just speaking out loud, you know, if this was me and this was my interest, I would want to make sure that the governing body that I was asking to take this action had all of the tools available at its hand to make sure that we don't take action that you want in a manner that that makes it reversible should it be challenged at a later date in a court of law. But yeah, what we can do is we can just wrap up this agenda item right now, and then my office will get with you on a future date, and we can set a public hearing. I'm not sure whose responsibility or obligation it is to give notice to all affected property owners. If it's the counties, we'll take care of that as well. If it's not the counties, we're not going to take care of that, and it'll be your responsibility. But I just don't know. I don't know what the statute says with respect to that, Ms. Ransom. But yeah, no, that's fine. Is there anything that you'd like to present to the court? You know, knowing that.
Knowing that, I would just like to express my frustration that I have attempted to get guidance from the commissioners on how to proceed. And we proceeded as best we could with absolutely no guidance as to the format of the submitted form. So I am frustrated. And the time that has been spent endeavoring to get your help, and now to be told you're not sure that you can do this, it's incomprehensible.
I don't think it's incomprehensible at all, Ms. Ransom. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate the tone in which you've taken to share them, and I understand your frustration. But the reverse is actually true. I would appreciate it if you would put everything in a nice package and a tied up bow and express it and explain it to us in a manner so that we take all the steps necessary and that we know going forward without having to do our own looking into, on your own behalf to determine what process it is that you want us to take.
Okay, we will do that.
Is there anything further that you'd like to comment on or discuss? I'm not trying to cut you off at all.
We will resubmit the package. To whom should the package be resubmitted?
Why don't you
To
just
my
submit it directly to me, the county judge?
Okay,
Yeah, that's probably best. And I'll take a closer look at it, Ms. Ransom. We'll get through the process. I'm not telling you that I don't know what the will of the court is going to be ultimately on the substance of the process, but we'll get the process all ironed out. We'll get it done, and we'll get you back up on the agenda just as soon as is reasonably practical. Is there any discussion or comment that any commissioner would like to make at this time? Okay. Mr. Ransom, thank you much. I do apologize. I know it's frustrating, and I know that you're frustrated, but just hang in there, and we'll get through the process.
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a nice day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll take no action on agenda item number 20. That concludes our agenda. Moving on to agenda item number 21, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you all. We are adjourned.
Thank you, sir.